Hello, welcome to the 718 podcast. It's your boy William H. Straff, along with my co-host Midtown Mo.
What's going on, everyone? Very happy to be live in the studio.
Yeah, we are live in the Midtown Mo studios, location not to be determined, not to be released, and we're joined today by super producer Stacy, aka Joe Me.
Hi.
She has promised to be quiet in the background, drinking her red wine, but it's not going to happen. Over under 4.5 minutes. So we're going to try and have a little more structure this week. So we're going to do 4 topics. Me and him can go back and forth on it. I think because we're going to do this, it'd be more natural than being on the phone and interrupt each other and stuff. I've already said too much. Topic number 1. Excuse me. Ravens Steelers this Sunday. Ravens 23, Steelers 20. Obviously, I'm a big Ravens fan, so before I go off for the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna let Mo have the floor.
I don't recall who I had in that game.
You already fucked up.
Yeah, I don't recall who I had in that game. I think I had the Steelers in that game. Did anyone think Joe Flacco was going to lead them to that last? Oh, you can put your hand down, but Joe Flacco came through. Torrey Smith dropped a pass, and then looked like he got away with a little bit of a push off. But you gotta give it up to the Ravens. To beat any team twice, especially in your own division, is very impressive. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. But their schedule is very favorable moving forward.
All right. 1, the Ravens are clearly the best team in the AFC. This is not for discussion.
I was just going to say the NFL.
This is not for debate. I'll get to that in a second. This is not for discussion. This is not for debate. We're the best team in the AFC. I don't want to hear Houston, who we beat. I don't want to hear Pittsburgh, who we beat twice. I don't want to hear New England, whose ass we would beat because they can't stop a nosebleed on defense. I don't want to hear San Diego, who we will beat in Week 15. They're the best team in the AFC. Yes, Mo has his hand up.
You got my Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, we're going to get to them in a second. Number 1. Number 2, what people fail to realize is that this is the second straight year that Joe Flacco has led the Ravens on a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter in Heinz Field. Yes, it happened last year, Week 5, I believe, either Week 4 or 5. But, people tend to forget those things, and which brings me to my next point.
Wasn't it 2 weeks ago that Flacco stunk it up?
No, well, he had a lot of help. We stunk as a collective, and that actually reminds me of something else. But we stunk as a collective. Our offensive line was shit. Our receivers couldn't get open. Flacco was overthrowing people. Like, it was a total, defense played spectacular. Offense stunk. All right, whatever. The Ravens are the most, I've said this for years, my man Ali co-signs it, the Ravens are the most disrespected good team in the league. Whenever the Ravens do something bad, it's like, it gets forgotten, it gets pushed to the side. When they do something good, when they do something bad, everyone remembers it, everyone reminds me. Going into this game, all I heard, there was like Ravens Steelers, people picked the Steelers, they said the Steelers are better than the Ravens going into the game, even though we bust their ass 35-7 Week 1. But why? Because they lost in Jacksonville. And it's just like, we had to win this game just to shut everyone the hell up, because Pittsburgh is the most overrated good team. If we struggle with the Cardinals, it's, the Ravens offense ain't this, I don't know if they'll be a premier team, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, the Steelers, they struggle with the Colts, the 0-9 Colts. Oh, they beat the Colts. Whatever.
If the Steelers are the most overrated team.
Most overrated good team. Not this year.
The Ravens are the most complaining team in the league. Countless games, these guys cry about the referees, the officiating. Oh, Ed Reed is just crying because the head official didn't call something or call a pass interference. What was it last year that they went ballistic, that they didn't get a call? These guys, we don't get a lot of respect. We're disrespected.
We
don't.
Blah,
blah, blah,
we
blah.
don't.
You know who gets disrespected? Eli Manning. But you don't see him sitting there crying like these guys are.
Eli's a ring. All right.
These guys cry a lot.
Here's what it is. All right, listen. Does my team bitch about officiating a little too much?
A little.
They do. However, we are like, for example, like if we could play the Browns and we beat the Browns 35-0, we're like, all right, go win by the Ravens, but they did what they had to do. The Steelers could play Florida State and beat them 47-0. Oh, the Steelers are back. Oh, that's why they're the best team. This is going on for years. For years, especially this past summer, all I hear, imagine you're Ray Lewis, all you hear is, can the Steelers beat the Ravens?
You
Or the
sound
Steelers never
like
beat the Ravens.
on the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey,
all this complaining.
you know something? Every Ravens fan out there,
You are a real fan.
I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired. Like honestly, I was even watching a clip today on NFL Network before the game. They're like, go into the game, have the Steelers pass the Ravens. And Kurt Warner, someone else saying like, the Steelers have passed the Ravens. Like, wait. And shout out to Warren Sapp. Because like, wait a minute, did I not see us bust that team's ass week 1? So what happens? They go out and they beat Arizona, and they beat Seattle, and they beat Cleveland, and they beat, Rice, and they beat Rutgers, and it's like, oh, they're back. Man, fuck them.
You sound like Terrell Suggs.
Right? That's fine. And guess what? And someone said to me earlier, well, it don't count in the playoffs. Well, guess what? That playoff game is going to be in Baltimore this year. Thank you very much.
A lot of complaining.
Now, to the point that you brought up, we can discuss the AFC North. We own the AFC North. The Bengals are a fraud.
You just sat there and said, oh, they beat Arizona or they beat this and whatever. Like, listen, the Bengals are who their record states they are.
Agreed.
They have who I argue would be the Rookie of the Year in Andy Dalton. But it all depends on how you're going to measure the Rookie of the Year, because if it's based on stats, it's going to be Cam. But I think it'll be Andy. They got another perennial or possible Rookie of the Year on A.J. Green. They got a solid defense, one of the best defenses in the league.
Defense is solid.
The problem with the Bengals is that they have to play the Ravens twice.
2 losses.
The Steelers twice.
2 losses.
I wouldn't say. I'd say they're going to win one of those 4 games.
Ain't going to be against
that
us.
Puts them at 7 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a game against Houston.
Loss.
And not necessarily. I mean, these are the games that's going to show if they're a contender or not. That's
7 and 9. 7 and 9.
I think they can get to 8 and 8. We'll see.
Tops. Put it to you like this: I guarantee you they lose at St. Louis. Write it down.
No.
Yes.
4 games against the Steelers and Ravens. I mean, that's death row.
They're gonna go for it.
I like what they're doing, and people don't harp on enough is that even if they go 8 and 8 next year, look at the draft picks that they got from trading that bum Carson Palmer. They got like 2 first-rounders for next year. They're only going to get better. Mm-hmm. I like what they're doing. They're the Detroit, like I said 2 weeks ago, Detroit Lions of the AFC.
We'll get to next year. This year, they're going to get... Listen, they're going to lose. We're going to sweep them. Pittsburgh's going to sweep them.
They play the Steelers at home. We're going to find out who the Bengals are this week.
They're going to lose that game 34-10.
No.
Watch.
No.
They're going to piss off Steelers team. They're going to get 34-10.
The Steelers are supposed to be pissed off against the Ravens.
Well, they're going to be pissed off no matter what. But they will, I'm telling you, 8-8 tops. 8-8.
This is the game that I really am looking forward to. Steelers at the Bengals. Let's see what the Bengals
look at the schedule. They have us twice. They have the Steelers twice.
Will you give them the respect that they deserve?
Listen, if they beat
the Steelers at home this Sunday.
If they could play Steelers. If they beat the Steelers at home,
you gotta give them some respect.
You gotta, yes, that's a quality win. You gotta give them respect.
Right. You play your schedule.
Yeah, but your schedule doesn't make you good.
They seem pretty good to me.
Yeah, so that's all right.
We can move on.
All right, next topic: the NFC East.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna throw this over to Joe Mead is over here pumping her fist. I'm gonna let you lead off with the first question. First question is: are the Philadelphia Eagles done?
I want to say that they're done. That the fork is almost in them. You can never really count out the Eagles because they have almost as soft a schedule as the Cowboys moving forward. But they had to win that game against the Bears. I mean, you know what? They are done. I'm just gonna say they're done. They're done. Because I'm thinking about the teams. They got they're in competition with the Giants and Cowboys in their division, and you have the Falcons, you have the Bears, you have the Bucks, you have the Saints, and the Niners are going to win their division. I mean, you have a lot of people vying for those wild cards. I just don't see it. Deshaun Jackson is the definition of the Philadelphia Eagles season. He has chosen to say, you know what, I'm not going to get hit. I don't want to get hit. So you know what, I'm not going to run. But he had one catch over 23 yards in like the last 16 games, some crazy stat like that. And what they asked him about it today, and he was like, they're taking away our weapon. No, you're taking away yourself because you're trying to get a new contract. Get out of here with that nonsense. And then Jeremy Maclin can't catch a pass.
Hey, it's my wide receiver.
LaShawn McCoy is doing everything he can, and then don't give me something in the defense. Cromartie's not playing well. Asa never show up.
You mean what's his name? Not Cromartie, Samuel.
I'm sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
No, they have Rogers Cromartie.
Oh, DRC.
DRC. They have Rogers Cromartie. He's not playing well. They actually pointed out that he's running away from tackles today. So it's Deshaun Jackson fever everywhere. And then Asa never show up. First it was about him not being in his position. Like, he shuts people down one-on-one. Well, you know what? That's not working either.
No, but Asamoah is used to play man defense, and they're not playing man, they're playing zone. Like, you can't shut anyone down if you're playing the cover 2 shell. Like, you can't.
That's Andy Reid's fault. So,
I mean,
still not playing well. If you're shut down corner, play well. I don't care. You wouldn't hear Revis crying about playing in zone.
But it's not like he's getting his ass beat all over the place.
He's not playing well.
The team.
And now that kid Scoob talking about getting Albert Hainsworth is going to shore up. Get out of here.
Don't
nonsense. It's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. They're done. Stick a fork in them. Who do they play this week? They play Arizona.
Quick up the schedule.
I think they get Arizona. I'm pretty sure they get Arizona this week.
Thank you. Joe Mead is getting us a schedule. You're allowed to talk.
It's Arizona. Pretty certain of that.
So, all right. Do I think the Eagles are done? Probably, because they are 3 games out. They basically need to win out at this point because they lost to the Giants, right? See, what helps is that they beat the Cowboys and they have 2 against the Reds. Sorry, and they got 2 against the Redskins, but they need to win out. They need to win out, and they got another game. They got another game with the Cowboys. They got another game with the Giants. They have. I'm trying to remember this game off the top of my head, but I cannot. But they're in trouble. So we'll get back to that.
They play Arizona next.
All right, so that should be. You got the rest of the schedule? Read that off.
Yeah. 1 second.
All right. And while while Mo looks that up, I almost messed up.
Then they play Sunday night against the Giants.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, I know their schedule because I was just looking this up the other day. They play at the Giants, at the Jets.
Tough.
They have Arizona next week, but then I think they might be at the Patriots. No, they're home for the Patriots, I think. Anyway, that's going to be their season. They're going to win this week against Arizona, and then they'll have the Sunday night game against the Giants. And that's the season's on the line right there. Giants beat them there. It's over.
Speaking of the Giants, are the Giants for real? 6-2, leading division. Are the Giants for real?
You do not spell elite without The Eli is playing ball. I love it because I hate Eli so much as a person. But you know what? He has proven me absolutely wrong. I just have a tremendous amount of respect for him now because he's balling.
Eli and Joe Flacco have a lot in common. Obviously, Joe Flacco doesn't have a ring, but he's Joe is the mild mannered, cool guy. Doesn't get crazy emotional. But people's like, yeah, this, that, and the third.
But you saw some emotion out of Eli.
I saw some emotion out of Joe on Sunday.
But the Giants are who we think they are, and you know who they are. They probably will be the first team to beat Green Bay. They probably will. But you know what? They'll also lose to a Seattle, or they will lose to the Redskins at home. That's just the kind of team they are. When you put them against the Patriots, you put them against the Patriots. I think the Giants will be the first team to beat Green Bay. I'm going to call.
They play to the level of competition. Definitely. Yeah.
But you know, I'm rooting on for the Cowboys, so you know we'll see how it goes.
So the freaking Romo coaster, that is the Cowboys.
The run game. DeMarco Murray changes this team.
Can we pull up the Cowboys schedule? Because
I can tell you they play the next 4 games. This week they play Buffalo, then they play Arizona.
They could lose a Buffalo game.
No, they don't play Arizona. They play Buffalo.
They say they will. They said they could lose that game.
Buffalo. In the next 4 games, they play Buffalo, Arizona, Washington, and I forget the 4th opponent, who it is. But, I mean, conceivably, they can win the next 4 games, setting up the Sunday night game with the Giants that will follow. That could be for the division lead.
That our man Cousin D said will be the de facto NFC Championship game.
Could be, but the Giants still got to face some tough teams. Like they still got to face the Jets. They still got to face Green Bay. They still got to face the Saints. I mean, Giants are balling, but that's a lot to ask from them. And then you got the Cowboys with a bit of an easier schedule, and DeMarco Murray's balling. And I told Cousin D that Felix Jones isn't getting his job back. Felix Jones is going to be the water boy.
Felix Jones will be back next week. All right, Joe Meady, what do you think?
I think Dallas is a good shot at continuing on the winning streak of 1 game. But continuing on the winning streak, it's a matter of Tony Romo being consistent.
The Romo coaster.
It's an emotional roller coaster that I would like to get off of.
Yeah, that's what you saw. That's what it is.
I'm a born and raised Texan. I love Dallas. It's my home. That's my team. But I need Romo to be Romo with like injured ribs every week. Not Romo, but I'm in love with blonde of the month.
Well, there's some concerns because, well, there's 2 concerns. Obvious injury to Miles Austin, who is going to be out
doing great,
another.
Though.
He was balling at the beginning.
He's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. You never want to see that out of your number 2 wide receiver. Secondly, I'm very concerned if Sean Lee can't come back at linebacker because, as you saw, Marshawn Lynch just cut them to pieces when you have Keith Brookin trying to tackle you. So hopefully, if Sean Lee should come back this week, but that's a huge hole in the Cowboys defense. We'll see what Buffalo can do because my man Freddie Moonwalker Jackson is coming to town, and he will definitely run on them.
He should not moonwalk facing me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. The NFC East is very interesting.
How many wins? I've said that 9-7 is going to win this division. Now, if the Giants go 9-7, Allie and Giants fans and Nubs and them are going to be pissed the hell off.
I think the Cowboys can get to 9 wins. I mean, I have them down. I mean, this Buffalo thing is huge. And so, they still got 2 games left against the Giants and a game against the Eagles at home. So, as much as you may say the Giants have their own destiny in their hands, I actually think Dallas has their own. Just win. You have 4 winnable games, then you get 2 against the division leader, and you can stomp the Eagles. You can put the nail in the coffin when you face them. So, I actually think that the Cowboys more so have their schedule. Based on their schedule, they have their own destiny in their hands. They have to win these games. They have to.
And Washington is done, please.
Washington's done. This is Mike Shanahan. He's a horrible coach. It's horrible. who led the Redskin running attack this week? Roy Halou. Who's gonna lead it next week? Tashard Choice. That's who's gonna. He's terrible.
All right. All right. Moving on. Mid-season awards.
We ain't talk about Tebow.
Why was we... Really?
Tebow!
Why was we talking about... All right, listen, let's go through mid-season awards, see if it comes up. All right?
He's coming up.
First half, your NFL MVP is...
Well, it's not Tim Tebow.
It's... Beat you over there.
But he could be the second half MVP. It's very possible.
Damn, dude.
You got to go with Aaron Rodgers. It's the obvious answer. His team's 8-0, and he has statistically had the best first half season ever in NFL history. I don't think there's an argument there.
Honestly, there's anyone else I would bring up, I'd get laughed out the room. He's the MVP of the league, so there you go. What do I have next?
Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Oh. I'll defer to you first. To this point.
I gotta look at... Are they going to judge it on stats? What are they going to judge it on? How do they select?
Same way how they just here are the offensive rookies.
Is this like the NBA MVP?
No, it's offensive rookie of the year.
If it's stats, it's Cam Newton. It's not close. But if it's total, turn the team around, solid play, and your team is on top of the division, that's Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
You know something? I actually agree with you. Granted, Cam's throwing the ball over the place, and listen, he's number 3 in passing yards. He's top 5 in touchdowns, and he's throwing the ball. And the Panthers are top 5 in offense, but they're 2-6 or 2-5. And Andy Dalton is. And listen, I thought the Bengals were going to be with 5 worst seasons in the league. So, does that play into why I think they're going to fall off the face of the earth? A little bit, but you can't... If you can't tell me Andy Dalton is definitely not the Rookie of the Year, you can't tell me that. I could not accept that from you. And we were also forgetting
with a rookie receiver.
Yeah, AJ Green.
Cam has Steve Smith, a legitimate Pro Bowl receiver.
There's another guy I'm forgetting on the top of my head. I should study for this more.
And you could argue that AJ Green is up there as well because he's doing this thing.
Exactly. Coach of the Year.
I actually was going to say Harbaugh in the San Francisco 49ers. However, I'm going to say it's the Cincinnati Bengals coach, who I can't... I hate Marvin Lewis. And here's why. One loss separates the Niners and the Bengals. However, and you can argue that both of their schedules are really easy. However, I will say this. Harbaugh came into a situation where all of the players were pretty much familiar with each other already. He had Alex Smith, Frank Gore, Vernon Davis. He has a quality defense. He had talent on that team. And as many people that did not think the Niners were going to do well, the Bengals, no one thought we could do well. A rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver, a defense that you don't know what's going to do, and sit on top of your division. You got to give it to Marvin Lewis. Give him some credit.
He's in a discussion. Obviously, the Jim Harbaugh seems like the leader of the clubhouse right now.
They have talent already.
Got to give some depth. Listen, there's no one on this earth that thought they'd be 7-1. No. There is nobody on this earth. Now,
but the talent was there.
I don't even think the talent was quote unquote there. I think that they've always been had this label of they have so much talent, but really, they had an injury-prone running back, they had a maligned quarterback, they got a tight end that's had 1.5 really good years. They had a bunch of rookie on offensive. Their defense was strong. But
it's close. And I don't think Frank Gore makes it through. Frank Gore is not making it through the season. It's impossible.
So I think people just expected, okay, they'll get better and they'll do this. And they're in a terrible division and it didn't happen. So we got Harbaugh, Jim Schwartz in the conversation. Don't forget about him. But you know something? I heard something today, and I was like, you know something? And if this guy was the coach of the year, I wouldn't be mad at it.
The Colts head coach.
No.
For taking the season to get Andrew Luck. It's hard to do.
I think he's trying. He stinks. Jim Cole was terrible. I don't understand how a guy who was 27 and 62 at Wake Forest is coaching, whatever. Mike McCarthy.
You can argue Mike McCarthy, but their defense is giving up way too many points.
I think that a lot of times we give this award to the coach of the team that came out of nowhere and now is frisky. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but it's one thing when you are the hunter and another thing when you are the hunted. And they have been the hunted since day one, and they've won every single game. And granted, the defense has not been up to par, but that's coached that.
They're ranked last.
But they're figuring out ways to not let their defense kill them. Now, I will say this. A while back, a certain cousin of ours said that they felt that the team to beat them would be
The Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to mention that cousin's name. I can see where he's coming from. Do you know who I think the team that could beat them?
I think it's going to be the Giants.
Well, the Giants could, but the team I think could definitely beat them. They won't play this year.
Originally, I said the Lions on Thanksgiving, and that's I'm done with the Lions. I'm on the Giants bandwagon. They're going to be the first team to beat the Packers. And you think? Let me guess. The team that's going to beat
No, I didn't say that. See, here's a key. They don't play. If they play them this year,
are you going to say the Ravens?
I'm going to say the
You're
Ravens.
going to say the Ravens.
Here is why. Everyone that plays the Pack, this is a passing league.
Ravens
Everyone wants to toss the. He doesn't have to go to Michael Finley. Everyone wants to toss the ball around, and you get into these passing back and forth to these dudes, and you're trying to keep them, you're trying to score with them. No, the way to beat the Packers is to keep their offense off the field. So you actually need a team that can run the damn football. Yeah. And we have no problem running the ball. Yeah, but Houston's mentality is to get in a shootout with them. And they won't run, and if they get a shootout, they'll lose. We have no problem running the ball with Ray Rice and Cummins Rick Williams all day. I'm not saying we'll, but if we make the Super Bowl, which is my, you know something? I don't think the Packers are making the Super Bowl. I don't think they are. I think everyone's put them. I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
I think they are.
I think they could lose. I can see them lose to the Giants. Hell, I can listen. If by some act, let me say something right now. If by some act of God, the Philadelphia Eagles win the division and they play the Packers are great, but they're not unbeatable.
No, they're not unbeatable. But I mean, I got to put them in the Super Bowl as long as they have it. As long as Aaron Rodgers remains healthy, I'm not betting against him in the NFC. Just can't do it.
So, who's your AFC team making the Super Bowl?
It was the Patriots for a couple of weeks, but I got to go with the hot hand in the Ravens because the only team that I can arguably put up there with them, assuming that the Bengals fall out, would be the Steelers, and they beat them twice. So, the Chargers aren't going to do anything. The Texans, I don't care. Matt Schaub is not taking them to the Super Bowl. It could very well be Packers-Ravens, and that would be a pretty awesome Super Bowl, but I just don't think the Ravens can score enough to beat them. I think as much as they will run, Rodgers will get that ball, and he will put points up on them.
And they can't They got fun. That's going to be fun.
Jordy Nelson's going to run right past Ed Reed. And Ed Reed's going to be complaining to the ref, like he always does.
All right. Moving on to our final topic for the evening. You remember what it is? Because I just don't remember.
Joe Mead.
Joe Mead.
Oh my God. If you had given me the rundown.
I didn't give you the run. Okay.
I would have been better.
We were supposed to do Your Team is Terrible.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so who are we gonna call? So this is a little segment. Your team is terrible. I'm very happy. So we got some options. We got
3 options.
We can call the Kid Scoob, aka the coolest Kappa Steve, who's an Eagles fan.
That would just be sad.
Or we can call Mike Williams, who's live from Columbus, who's a Patriots fan. Or we can call up Steelers fan. I can berate them on the phone for 10 minutes. I wouldn't mind that.
It's two alphas already. We don't. I mean, I love my chapter brother, but we don't need a third. Let's get the coolest Kappa alive on the phone.
On the hotline. All right, now you have his phone number.
Let's mix it up.
You didn't plan this ahead of time?
I told you, we win this, baby. We win this. Joe Mead is angry that we don't have this already. You have his phone number?
Actually, I don't. I was going to ask you earlier if you had his number.
And this is why men don't play
right.
things.
Because let's go back to Mike. Like let's get the third alpha on the phone.
It's better this way.
Hopefully, a crying kid won't answer the phone.
All right, let's call Mike right. No, we never tell him we're calling. It's better that way. Come on, Mike.
It's probably babysitter.
I'm about to call a Steelers fan.
Your call has been
And that's what happens when you call people whose team has lost. They just don't want to answer the phone because they know between 8 and 9 on Tuesdays, if your phone is ringing.
Do you want to tweet Steve asking for his number? Send him a DM.
Let's just skip. We'll have to skip this week.
All right, I'm gonna call a Steelers fan. I'm gonna call a Steelers fan. There's so many ignorant Steelers. There's so many ignorant Steelers fans I can call. We can call
My brother.
I'm not gonna call your brother because I don't know him enough. So why yell at him? I don't want to get mad. And we can call Nicole Jones. We can call my man Tim Puko. We can call my man. Lots in China. We can't call him. We can call so many people. You know what? Let's call Tim Puko because he's snarky as hell. Tim Puko is a guy I used to work with from Pittsburgh, PA. I should say where he's from. For real. No. We're running it live, baby. We're running it live. Live TV. On the radio. This always works in the BS support.
Because they have a producer, Jolie.
No, they're like he doesn't know we're calling.
They always know
They
what they're
always
calling.
know. They always pretend to be surprised.
Always
No
know.
acting.
Josh, you watch, you put it in pop.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Puko.
Yeah.
You're on my podcast. You got 5 minutes?
It is election night, Sean.
Oh, that's right. It is election night. You're actually covering on some local rinky-dink, phony baloney election in Keysport?
First of all, I haven't lived in Keysport in more than a decade. Let's get that straight. And secondly, I am covering how the energy industry is having a widespread effect on several municipal elections.
Do you have 5 minutes?
And Herman King.
No, I really don't.
Oh, you have 2 minutes?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Okay. Tim Puko, I used to work with him back in my reporting days at the Press of Atlantic City. He's now moved on to the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, this little segment from my podcast we call Your Team is Terrible, and I'm very happy. So I'd like to get 2 minutes from you on the performance of your Pittsburgh Steelers last night. Please don't hang up the phone.
You don't want 2 minutes from me on child rapists at Penn State? Because that's what my concern recently.
Full disclosure, Tim Puko hates Penn State. No, I don't want that, and this is going to go on the internet, so I don't want you to say anything that's going to get you in trouble.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be upset with me for saying that I don't like child rapists.
Stop dodging the topic. Steelers!
Well, I didn't watch the game because I was working on Sunday night.
Oh.
And I assume that the Steelers just win when they play in the playoffs. So I'm not that concerned. But I will say that Joe Flacco leading a 90-some yard drive
92.
and throwing a game-winning touchdown pass with only a few seconds left on the clock
16.
completely blows apart everything that I thought I knew about Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. So there's a bit of dissonance that I have to confront about that. I just haven't had a chance to watch game yet to process it all. I've been just following Joe Paterno's looming resignation and the downfall of Penn State that I've been waiting for basically my entire life the past few days.
You know what's ironic? I'll let you go after this. Last year, week 4, or week 3, whatever, what a week it was, the Ravens down 3 points in Heinz Field in the fourth quarter, and Joe Flacco led them on the game-winning drive for the winning score. And you know why it's ironic that this blows your mind? Because you were in my house when it happened.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because I had completely forgotten about that. And it gives me hope, remembering it, that maybe during the first 9 weeks of the year, when nothing really matters, that's when Joe Flacco's at his best.
Oh,
I can see that. That makes a ton of sense.
I knew there was a reason why I called you. Get off my phone.
Hey, it was great talking to you.
All right, we'll talk to you next week after you lose to Arizona.
Hey, I just want to point out that the Ravens have beaten the Steelers twice, and they're still really in a tie for first place.
No, we're actually...
They've beaten the Steelers twice, and they don't even have sole possession of first.
If the season ended today, who would be over who?
Well, the Ravens have the tiebreaker.
Hey! Eat it!
I mean, the season's not going to end today. I've got 8...
Then why the hell you bring that up?
Submarine Ravens. It seems eminently plausible to me.
See you in the playoffs in Baltimore.
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely. Bye.
Have a good night.
I love Tim Puko. All right. So that is your team is terrible. I'm very happy. Next week, we will definitely be calling someone else who will mope and cry like they usually do. So I guess we have some extra time for this segment. So
Cincinnati.
Want to do Cowboys corner?
I was gonna say that Cincinnati would win the division, but the Baltimore Ravens have a 2-0 division record. Cincinnati has 1-0.
Exactly.
But that's
Hey, Tim Puko.
That's not necessarily fair.
Hey, Puko. Eat it. All right.
I think our last one of our last topics was a big fight night this Saturday.
Huge fight night Saturday.
And I'm not just talking about Pacquiao. First and foremost, well, there's a couple of things related to this. One, Pacquiao does fight Juan Marquez Mexicano this Saturday in what should be a furious 4-round KO for Pacquiao.
Shocker.
Related to that, Mayweather recently called out Pacquiao for the 100th time, saying that I want to fight him May 4th at Dallas Stadium.
Those May 5th.
Doesn't even matter.
Right. Not like fights happen anyway.
Mayweather's out of his mind. Trying to dictate to Pacquiao when he's going to fight. I give it to Mayweather. He's a smart businessman. He's taking some shine away from this Pacquiao fight. I'm just not really a fan of the Mayweather, but he is a smart business dude.
Well, real quick, if that fight happens in Dallas, are we there?
We're there.
Okay. Joe Mead is paying for our flights and tickets.
I did never. I don't know who Joe Mead is.
And then, more importantly to me, the UFC heavyweight title is
you going to UFC?
The line. Yes.
I'm going to get some wine. I'll be back.
The UFC heavyweight title is on the line. We have Cain Velasquez, who's the defending champion, against Junior Dos Santos in what should be an epic fight. And it's free. It's on Fox at 8 o'clock. For free on Fox. If you've never watched UFC before, trust me, this is the fight to start your UFC fandom on. Two great heavyweights, and someone's getting knocked out, and it's going to be an epic war.
I actually saw my man Cain Velasquez on Dan Lebertar's High Questionable. I say Cain because that's how Dan and Papi called him, Cain. I actually saw him on Dan. We're taping this on Tuesday the 8th. I saw him on Dan Lebertar today. Seems like a cool guy. Father's from Mexico. He said his pops walked across the desert for 50 miles to get to the United States. He got deported twice, came back. So he's honestly, his fighting stuff is easy. My father went through the hard stuff. So, and he was a wrestler, and he basically decided he wanted to become a fighter because he didn't like just grabbing people, wanted to hit people in the face. That motherfucker scares me to death. So I don't care who he's fighting, he's gonna win. That's my man.
And his opponent is no slouch himself. Junior Dos Santos was on the Brazilian Olympic boxing team. The boy can box, and he has hands of steel. Asked his last couple of opponents who he's punished. So, again, it's free. It comes on before the Pacquiao fight. It's a great precursor into it, and, it's just the start of many things. There's a lot of big fights coming for the UFC.
Yes, so if your dumbass paid $69.95 for the Pacquiao fight, you can have the pregame. You got the pregame fight. You got the UFC fight on. Watch some real shit, and then watch Pacquiao wash this dude up in 3 rounds, and wonder why again you have paid $69.95 for a boxing fight when there's only one fight left. There's only one fight left, and as long as Mayweather ducks around and does all that garbage, it ain't gonna happen. Any closing thoughts, Mo?
It's been a great. This has been probably one of our better podcasts. No Cowboys Corner, and we actually had a producer this time. So
Producer, we got Cowboys Corner. We don't got
getting better.
We don't got people at Starbucks. We don't have people yelling at each other. We don't have any of the people. We don't have dominating it with who do you think is gonna win the election? Well, actually, if Romo ran, he might win Texas.
Yeah.
Love you, Cousin D. So that's our show for Midtown Mo and our producer Stacy, aka Joe Mead.
Oh, I didn't.
It's your nickname.
There's one critical point. From here on out, there'll be Thursday night football.
Yes.
Gotta love that. Mm-hmm. Starting this week with the Raiders Chargers. And also now the flex starts. So every Sunday night, and I believe from the schedule that I've seen, most Monday night football games mean something.
All right. So look forward to that. All right. Thanks for all of our guests. Thanks to Tim Puko. Thanks for Mike for not picking up, you fuck. Maybe next week we'll get Steve's phone number, and we'll talk to you next week. Peace.